Welcome back, everybody. We seem to be in a predicament. We're dead. So that's the end of the playthrough. Nope, never mind. We are perfectly fine. Let's go get that staff.
He's here.
Help.
Okay. Oh, jeez.
The shield.
There you go.
I'm wounded. Please, help me.
The bandage is all that I have.
That doesn't seem like it's doing the trick. Oh, jeez.
Quick, take my hand.
And then, suddenly, everything was quiet. It was as though Satinav had played a prank and stopped time. An almost endless moment in which Sadja and the Adept just stared at each other. He didn't understand that his rescuing hand was more terrible to her than 1,000 demon tentacles could have ever been. The final admission of her ghastly failure. Suddenly, Satinav snapped his fingers again, and life continued.
Well,
as he pulled her away, I heard her scream, "Leave me," she called. "Leave me. Take me back." And again, I can't leave him behind. Over and over, quieter and quieter, and ever farther away. It didn't take long, and they had disappeared. And that was that. I was right back where I started. Only one thing was different this time. This time, I was able to remember. Remember a princess who persevered in the face of the most impossible obstacles. It helped that the Gorian Desert is one of the most magical places known to this world. Several astral lines cross there, and I lay directly among them. I grew ever more powerful, and I practiced and practiced and practiced. After 400 years, I succeeded in refining my spell to the point where I finally found a way to permanently transform my body. I left the desert and set out for Draconia. I had to know what had happened to my princess after our separation. What happened to the only woman who was ever prepared to entrust her life to a shady, magical staff.
I'm gonna guess it didn't go well. On account of the 400 years.
Brider. Brider.
Sadja failed in the Gorian Desert.
Brider. Brider. First I knew the staff might as well have...
She had the mask, and she knew the name of the Djinn of
Fine.
Time.
I wouldn't be surprised if he just...
If the wearer
now
of the
know
mask
that they can
speaks
see
the
me,
name
but
of the
it
Djinn
won't-
of Time, he can retrieve things past.
Not after...
Sadia didn't waken the Jinn. Why not?
That's too... No, I'll leave it. Is that the inscription?
She was
How can a single
devastated.
insignificant riddle be that? As the stone the astral
It's
accumulator.
not all that hard. You just have to put the pieces together.
Yeah, well, you ain't got one. I'm gonna make some
Garon?
pieces.
Garon, can you hear me? I think I've solved the riddle. It's a little complicated. There are so many little pieces. There's only one thing missing. And then we can finally complete the story. Then I'll ask the staff to change you back. I promise. Can you do me one more favor first? Sadia's ruby has a crack. You need to repair it. Can you do that for me?
Oh shit.
Garon, repair the ruby.
Do we have the spells?
Bryda wants me to...
The story is almost over. We just need the ruby.
Hold on one second. Let me save my game here. I'm curious if there's multiple endings. Alright, I will repair.
Have you gone back? Thank you. And now let me try something. I pray to the gods that I'm not mistaken. Vedan Faskadan, Esplastequatan.
Now, this is what I thought would happen. Now we got the other spells.
Garon, if so, then you should be able to... Please give me a sign that it worked.
Okay.
I was right. Thank you. Oh, you're probably wondering where you are. The staff created this place.
Leave the mask and come to me.
He's here. I'll be right back.
Bryda! Bryda! When I get left back... Nuri! Sadia's... All I can hear... I can't... How could... No, I'll leave it like... The smoke... I wish some... Sadia... No, I'll leave...
How about...
That's too... No, I'll leave... I'm not the... Fight. I wouldn't... They're too... But they... The trees have shaped themselves. This reminds me... Not a... Sadia... 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 Sadia...
Dang it.
Sadia... 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 Sadia...
I mean, I have very little in the way of
No,
options.
I can't... How could... Sadia... I can't think... If... Oh... If... Oh... Nuri's... I'm carrying... I'll try...
There we go. Garon. Mountaintop. Fire. There we go, that'll help.
She could find the mountain, but...
How about the power accumulator?
I could send...
The river, maybe?
I can send Nuri to the mountain and then have her follow the course.
Okay, so don't... Okay, so don't include him in it. Just the river, the mountain, and the bridge.
I can send Nuri to the mountain and then have her follow the...
What? Alright, well... this, and then the campfire.
That's it! I'll send Nuri to the mountain. I hope... Thank the gods. I'm starting to remember something. I know how I... Alright, here... No, I'm too... The mask doesn't have enough. It was all... The mask... I don't know how much I better take care... It's impossible. Good thing I can still... Sadia... She doesn't... Please. Please. I can't think...
The only thing I can think of is to do this, is to say Garon, power accumulator, Fahi, I don't know, or the inscription.
Either I wasn't clear...
Oh, Nuri, okay, and then power accumulator. There.
Oh, finally. Fi, is everything all right?
Oh, yes. My stiff old bones haven't felt this young in ages.
Thanks, Nuri.
Who are you?
That doesn't matter now. Will you promise to wait for me here?
All right.
I'll be right back.
Let me rest a moment.
Okay.
Why?
Oh, you're not gonna save them? Alright.
It's been 450 years since I, a talking staff with no memories, kindled the light in my prison and saw a strange woman who would change my life forever. Her story began in this chamber, and between these walls we will end it together. Merhaba, Garon. Welcome.
You were able to free yourself.
What does all this mean? Where are we?
Ask him.
Indeed. Ask me. You should know that I've waited a long time for this day, and would not like to wait much longer. But if you have a great many questions...
What's going to happen here?
So you still haven't figured out why I sent you my memories?
Nuri is waiting for a transformation. You've lost Sadia and want to know what happened to her. That's why you sent us your memories.
Right. 400 years after our separation, I finally found a way out of the Gorian desert. I followed her trail back to Draconia. I found the Adept's journal, and the Djinn of Times' mask. But Sadia's real fate remained a mystery to me. Finally, I met Fahi, and asked him to bring me here. A man named Ulrich had taken her ruby from Draconia, and brought it to Undergast. He sought the mask in order to bring back his deceased wife. but he found only the gemstone. I wanted to bring together all the relics surrounding Sajia's disappearance and finally understand what happened to her.
Does it matter how she died? She's dead. We can't
Great,
change that.
Garon.
You will determine what happened to her.
I don't understand.
It's the Garden of Oblivion.
Garden of Oblivion, Garon. I read the journal to the end. After her return, Sadia went into the Garden of Oblivion and never came out again. Nothing that happens in the garden has actually happened until someone talks about it. Outside the garden.
And since Sadia has been forgotten since that day, her fate has never been told, and thus never completed.
I see.
If we tell the end of Sadia's adventures in the garden, then the story becomes true.
And if we're mistaken,
Satinav's invisible hand will punish us for our sacrilege.
I think I've explained enough about our wondrous meeting.
Are you ready, Garon?
Just a moment. What about the inscription on the burial chamber?
You mean the stone and the scarab? Vahi believes that the inscription is the key to everything. But as apt as his intuition may be, in this case he's mistaken. The riddle is apparently only a strange jotting on the margins, a random blemish on an otherwise monumental painting.
Sure.
There's nothing else to say about it. Sadia was taken to the burial chamber to read trivial inscriptions, and as proud as she was, she refused.
You're wrong.
What's Fahi's role in all this?
Vahi is a man of many talents. He has a feeling for tales, and he's good at solving riddles. In addition, he had a wagon and a tent in which I could hide on my long journey. He is helping me solve the riddle, and in return, I protect his business from looters. That is our agreement.
So he's actually harmless.
Vahi is the most harmless man I've ever met in my 3,000 years. I was sorry to petrify him, but it was the only way to save him from your fellow citizens.
Why are you here, Brider? Sadia's story doesn't have anything to do with you.
Hey, come on, she's along for the ride now.
Garon, there's nothing left for me here. I'm a deserter. My own comrades are hunting me. This is my only refuge.
And whose fault is that,
Yes.
Garon?
Even if you still don't understand,
I'm sure everything will be...
the world will never be as fine as it once was.
At the waterfall, you promised to change Nuri back to her old form.
And I will, but first, we must complete Sadia's story.
What if one of us ends Sadia's story and is wrong?
If Satinav learns that the tale we tell can't possibly be true, then he'll make it unhappen and declare the teller guilty of sacrilege.
Don't worry, Garon. We won't make a mistake. I've thought everything through very carefully.
All right.
Then put the mask on the bust of my old master and let us begin.
Is it this? This guy with the huge teeth?
Thank you, Garon. Are you ready now?
Yes.
Let's get this over with.
Thank you, Garon.
Which of you will now step forward and tell the story to its end?
This is an interesting decision. Let me go and look here for a second. Okay, it says I can or not. Okay.
I'll do it.
Very well. I'll now tell you of Sajia's passage into the garden. As it is written in the Adept's journal, listen closely. At the end, you must tell me how the story ends. After her return from the battlefield, Sadia was only a shadow of herself. She had seen the horrors of the Nether Hells, an ocean of destruction and death. She was the only survivor, but the rest of the world did not care. Sadia's great dream had failed. She wandered the halls of Draconia like a ghost. She didn't eat, and she only slept when exhaustion forced her to. On the fourth day, a young adept saw her at the threshold to the portal. He asked her where she was going. It was cold in the mountains, and she could have become lost, whereupon she answered,
I'm going to the garden to break my being.
The boy immediately ran to the air adept, but help arrived too late. When they entered the garden, all that they found was the mask and Sajia's ruby next to it. There was no sign of her. Out of fear of challenging Satinav, it was decided that they would forget the incident. No one was allowed to speculate about what had happened on that day.
So that's why she was forgotten.
The mask and the ruby were taken to Draconia. The garden was sealed, and Sadya's fate was forgotten. Until today. It's now up to you, Garon, to finish her story. But remember, one mistake, and the consequences will be terrible.
I know. Sadya entered the garden.
Let's see.
She took out the mask. Then she hesitated for a moment and wondered if she was really doing the right thing. She looked into the mask and... And...
She read the magic spell, memorized it, put on the mask, and destroyed her memory.
Pretty much.
Why did you interrupt me?
I was afraid you would say the wrong thing.
Although I did select the right
She disappeared
thing.
into the depths of the garden like a soulless waif, and was never seen again.
It is done. I had always hoped it would be otherwise. But I was mistaken.
Are you crying?
Of course I'm crying. My princess just died.
Oh, well... I guess that's it then. That was the end just now, wasn't it?
Yes.
No. Since Sadya used the mask, her memories are now in the mask. And thus, the true name of the Djinn of Time.
You gonna put it on yourself?
What are you doing?
You gonna bring her back?
Fadan feskadan es blaste quadan ilbe nideti meta for imano.
Ah, I've been awakened.
The Djinn of Time.
Tell me, child, what is your wish?
I'm sorry, Garon, but there's nothing left for me in this time. As if there had ever been anything for me here. There are no heroic princesses, no ancient tombs,
You're
no
gonna go back in
flying
time?
fortresses. Only endless honor guards, latrine duty, one triviality after another. When was the golden age lost? When princesses still dreamed of battles and the world was filled with magic. I wish it was all as it used to be.
Your wish
Oh,
is my
jeez.
command.
Bryda.
The girl is now gone. Her longing now rules over her existence. It is my task to fulfill that longing. To extinguish the Grey Present and bring the past to life again.
Get the staff. You're not getting the staff, Garon. You're very ineffective.
The forest is starting to change. What did she do?
Garon, come quickly. Garon, I've been thinking.
That's nice, but it won't help us any. Bryda told Sadya's story to the end. She had Sadya put on the mask and draw out all her memories in the Garden of Oblivion, so that everything has now happened exactly like that. And she read out Sadya's memories with the ruby. I mean, Bryda did that. And now she's possessed by the Djinn of Time.
Calm yourself, Garon.
I'm supposed to calm down? We have to do something.
You're right. And we can only do something if we prove that Bryda was wrong. That Sadya did not put on the mask. You forget. that there's still a part of the riddle we have not solved.
The scarab? As if a pointless riddle could save us all.
Do you have a better idea? Look around. We're in a copy of the burial chamber. Perhaps you'll find the crucial clue somewhere. Bring it to me, and perhaps we can solve the riddle once and for all.
Okay.
Whatever.
I will.
Whatever.
I will. I need to rest. Flying is fun.
So this.
Alright, let's go back in, I guess. Well, there's the ruby. Can't take the,
Not yet. The Gin of Time.
break it.
No, I'll leave it.
No? Okay.
The Gin of Time. That won't. All I found was the ruby.
Give it to me. Giacomo Nauta told me you were an amateur mage. Is that true?
Yeah, I can break things.
Well, I can also do a bit of magic. If I hold something in my hand, I can catch a glimpse of its past. That was the main reason the staff chose me as his companion, you see. Now, let's see what story this stone tells. Curious. When the ruby was found after Sadia's disappearance in the garden, it had a crack. And the reversal spell the Ore Adept had woven into it had vanished utterly. The mages had to reapply it completely. But there's more. I see a palace garden, and in it, 2 children.
This is a brooch from Mengbilla. My father gave it to me.
Oh, can I see?
There.
She had kids?
And here, a ruby from the dwarf tunnels in the brazen sword.
It's so beautiful.
When I'm Caliph, I'll have all the treasures in Avestan gathered in my palace. Fazar will be more radiant than in times of the great Moguls. My subjects will lie at my feet for all eternity.
You'll be a good ruler, Cassim. All the history books will tell of you.
Ha! Do you see the sign on my arm? It's the calligraphy of my sovereignty.
So they were they're kids.
My dynasty. The whole world.
Sadia and Kazim.
There are great times ahead of us, Sadia. Truly great times.
Did she go back in time? She said the name.
A prince and a princess playing together. He's trying to impress her. What could this mean?
So Sadia and the prince really were siblings?
Wait. A palace guard arrives.
Let me go! You're so pathetic. Isn't that how you like to be treated? Like the dog that you are.
At least I have my own teeth.
You please me, Sadia, more than I had hoped.
The prince is tormenting the princess. The guard holds her tight. She's at his mercy, but why?
Maybe she committed a crime.
They finally let her go.
Okay,
she
so it's not
remains alone in the
I'm just trying to I'm curious if there are like achievements or if there is like a reason.
Really? What are you doing? Are you tattooing yourself?
Oh wow.
My own dynasty.
Do you even know what the word means? Dynasty? You can't simply write greatness.
So she wasn't an ancestor of the Mogul mage.
Do you think you could ever be greater than I? You're amusing. Guards! Throw her back into the gutter where you found her. I'm done having my fun with her. Then fetch me a new girl.
Jeez, so they were not siblings.
Sadia wasn't a princess at all. She was only a poor girl from the streets.
So what?
I don't know.
What's so funny?
Don't you understand? The solution to the riddle. Sadia's words outside the burial chamber. It was so obvious all along.
Oh.
We were fooling ourselves. Now, go into the burial chamber and tell it to the Jinn. Then everything will be all right again.
Ryder, or whoever you are, come out.
Why do you obstruct her wish? She's unhappy. She wishes to be back in a time where everything was still good. You, of all people, should understand that. But it no longer matters what you think. The ritual is almost complete. A new ancient kingdom will grow from the oak wood.
Not if I can prove that Bryder was wrong. And she was indeed wrong.
Sadia went into the garden, she took the mask, and she spoke the incantation. So did it happen, and so shall it remain.
It will. Listen, let me start at the beginning. Sadia entered the garden, she sat down and pulled out the mask. She looked into the mask and despaired in herself and her inability.
Why should she despair? She had my promise of blessed oblivion. All she had to do was
But she was poor.
No. I'm sorry, Bryder, but Sadia wasn't as brilliant as you think. She felt persecuted and restless. She wanted to forget her own past and become someone else. She wasn't a princess, just a poor girl from the streets. And as such, she couldn't even read.
No.
No.
Forgive me, Bryder.
That's that then. The riddle is finally solved. Why such a long face, Charon?
Yes, my friend? What plagues you so?
Nothing. Why are you so happy anyway? Sadia's fate proved to be false. You don't know any more now than you did before.
Very true. Very true. But perhaps not.
Oh, forget it. I'm sick of riddles.
Yes. Leave the dear boy in peace, Haleth. Fulfill his wish, and let's move on.
Yes. Traveling is nice. I want to go to the sea.
Wait just a moment.
It's up to you, my friend. Do you want me to change her back?
But I can only restore her body, not her memories.
Oh, I can save here. Oh. Let's change her back or leave her as she is. She'll be happier, but then I don't know. Maybe she'll be happy as a fairy.
I fought so hard for it. I want everything to be the way it was.
So be it.
This is in character for him, but it is not the right choice because she's, you know, she was happy as a raven. He's selfish.
Nuri? Nuri, can you hear me?
What's going on? Who are you?
My name is Garon. How do you feel?
Strange. I'm cold. What happened?
Come to the fire and rest. Then I'll tell you everything. Who you are, where you come from, and what wonderful adventures the two of us have had.
Adventures?
It all began last autumn. crows had attacked the royal palace, and King Everden asked me to come up with a way to stop the plague. My search led me to a strange cave near a waterfall.
I don't know, that feels like it rewards him too much.
Ends the tale. Did you know that it would come to this? Oh, how can I know what you planned, and what was mere fortune? Until today, I would have sworn that the mask destroyed you. But that can't be. We know that now. Now, just so I don't make a mistake, there are only two possibilities as to what could have happened to you back then. The first, the more likely, has now proven to be false, which leaves only the second. I mustn't make a mistake.
Here we go. When Sadia entered the garden, she had the mask with her, but no ruby. Yet, when the mask was found, there was a ruby beside it. Now, it may be that it was Sadia's ruby that was thrown into the garden earlier by the prince.
But what if it was another? Oh dear. Oh dear. There's no going back now.
Satinav! I say that there was not one, but two rubies. The real one was lost. The fake was taken from the garden by the mages and is now here in my hand.
Sadia couldn't read, but with my mask she could do magic.
She could turn plants to stone. She could turn people to stone. What is a ruby, if not just another stone?
There. And now to you, my dear. You descended into the deepest tombs, and you climbed the highest mountains. You danced with wind spirits and wrestled with demons. Abandoned by the gods, forgotten by time. Shahrazad, your time has finally come.
That's a weird ending. That's a really weird ending. How does she get... How is she summoned? Like, how is she immortal? That doesn't make any sense. Like, I get it. The story that he crafted made theoretical sense, but she still would have died. I thought it was gonna be like, and the world remembered her, finally, for her great deeds. Not, and she's right here! Anyway, that's Memoria, guys. I hope you liked it. Grab a snack, and we'll be back with more games. I'm not sure what day this is. It must be Friday. So come on tomorrow. We'll be doing some hidden object games. How about that? Enjoy your day.